trading is one of the most spectacular things about Diablo 2, and it's the most important thing to do if you want to top the charts each season.
Thanks.
But how well could one do if he just didn't? I raced the most competitive players in the world to see if I could make it to the top of the ranks without ever trading for gear. I would need to achieve my fastest ladder finish ever. The only way I could get gear in this challenge was to either find it or hope someone in my playgroup found it. And none of them really spend a lot of time magic finding. Most endgame gear is super rare and expensive, so in this semi-self-found run, I had my work cut out for me. But I didn't show up unprepared. The Assassin is by far the fastest class for a ladder climb. Not only is the damage of a Mosaic Assassin a little over-tweaked, but it's pretty cheap to get her there. Once you get 2 Mosaic rune words, you're all set. Although the Gull rune and Mal rune required to make each of these is kinda rare, you can technically find those on the playthrough, and we were really banking on that. Maybe a little too much. But the other gear that we needed in order to have a competitive advantage isn't so easy to obtain. Enigma is so crucial because it gives you access to the best mobility skill in the game. It's the item that nearly everyone trades for during a ladder season. But in this challenge, we cannot trade. If we never find the runes for this entire challenge is gonna be a slog. Additionally, having some form of minus enemy res on your gear is crucial if you want to keep up with the big dogs. But unless we want to hope to find 2 more bear runes to make infinity for the merc, the only reasonable thing we could hope to find is this. And by reasonable, I mean not at all reasonable. This is one of the rarest items in the game. No matter how you slice it, trying to place on the first page of a ladder reset without trading is a lofty goal. So it was time to cook up some devious plans to ensure that we gave ourselves a chance. This was my playthrough build. A trap sin can basically carry 7 other players through the game on its own with minimal gear. Fire traps can get you through a good portion of the early game quite dominantly, and once you're level 24, you gain access to Mind Blast. This skill not only stuns monsters, but it has a chance to convert them temporarily. This is an incredible tool for crowd control, and with it, you can fight your way through any dangerous situation. In Nightmare difficulty, we switch to a Lightning Trapper, and this can carry us the rest of the way. In fact, even with very budget gear, it can theoretically tackle any area in the game. And while this gal is quite the independent whammon, we didn't plan on staying traps in for long. The reason we prepared for plowing through a playthrough with a boatload of dummies is because Jogi was on the team. Just kidding. It's because we did exactly that. All these low-level characters are just dummy accounts we're questing from in town. The logic behind that is that you can do the Hellforge quest once on each character, which rewards you with a rune. In Hell difficulty, the Gull rune or the Mal rune can drop from this quest, with a 1 in 11 chance for each. With 8 Hellforge quests in tow, we were gonna get the runes we needed to ascend into our ultimate form. Come on, baby. Are you kidding me?
Is it 2 S 1 goal?
Yeah. Oh my god. Shale rune, damn son, that's so bad. We didn't get him. We were still short 1 Gull rune, which is the harder one to find. Wow. That is a little rough, fellas. That is a little rough. But we press on. I vigilantly farmed so many areas for upgrades, hoping to find that mouth-watering Gull rune that I needed. It seemed like it would never come, but finally, on day 2 of the challenge, we gave up and rushed another set of characters to the Hellforge. And this time we'd certainly get a Gull rune, right?
Oh, Lum rune. God damn it. Oh, wow.
What's up?
Fondles.
Oh, that's nice.
And a cold skiller? Yeah, right. Come on, baby. Goal rune. Fucking hell. Oh my god, we got it, boys. We fully fucking got it.
Is that all you were missing?
That was the one.
Finally, 14 rushes later, it was time to ascend into greatness, boasting the most busted build on Battle.net. But I had no idea what was in store for the rest of this run. To prepare for the degenerate journey ahead, we had to make sure our technology was ready. I just upgraded to the new RTX 5090, which is insane, and I got a new phone. You know, so I could record myself degenning if need be. I'm not the type to upgrade my phone regularly, but when I brought this into my service provider, the dude was blown away by it. Hollywood quality camera, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and over 500 gigs of disk space. That's more than most people's computers. This is the REDMAGIC 10S Pro, and while you might think that I spent an arm and a leg on this, I really didn't. But it's less expensive than my dad's phone that he bought directly from the carrier. REDMAGIC is a relatively new brand in the space, and these guys are putting the big dogs to shame. I never thought I'd be the type to get excited about a phone, but this one is unlike anything I've ever seen. It's specifically designed for gamers with a red button on the side of it that activates game space mode. Thing's even got its own cooling system, for Christ's sake. Seriously though, if you're in the market for a new phone, use the link that I put below and get yourself one of these. Mine isn't even the best one they sell, so check them out and I can promise you won't be disappointed. Anyhow, we have unlocked the next chapter of our journey. But why have we chosen this particular build? This version of our character is technically a martial arts assassin. Ever since the early days of Diablo 2, these skills have been a bit underplayed. In response, Blizzard jacked up the damage of martial arts finishing moves in a few early patches, so this damage has always been pretty bonkers. But players never really used this build until Mosaic came out in D2R. So why? Well, martial arts skills are a bit complicated. In order to unleash such vicious violence, you have to charge them up first. To do that, you throw a few punches at your target, select another charge up skill, throw a few more punches to charge that one, and so on. Then finally, when you're ready to unleash all of your charges and pen up aggression, you use a finishing move, dealing all of that overclocked damage all at once. Finishing moves, however, deplete one of each charge every time you use them, so after a maximum of 3 attacks, you have to go through the painstaking process of charging everything back up again. And if you take longer than 15 seconds between charging up and executing a finishing move, your charges go away and you have to do it again. So this is why no one ever played the build, but Mosaic changed all that. Not only does wearing 2 of these prevent your charges from ever expiring after using a finishing move, but it also has a hidden ability. Whenever you do use a finishing move, that 15-second timer resets. So with these 2 claws, as long as you're attacking at least every 15 seconds, you're perpetually unleashing the most historically overclocked damage in the game. And that's why it was so important for us to get 2 of these early on. It's also why the first page of any ladder season since the introduction of Mosaic has been less of a competition and more of a sin invitational. A sinvitational, if you will. But while we started off a little rough getting these claws, this entire adventure would be filled with a mixed bag of luck. While we were busy struggling to find a goal rune, Joby's luck was quite different.
I did some farming with Maddie. We didn't find anything great, but I do have one little thing, and it's recorded.
Really?
Yeah, let me link you to the video. C'est pas mal ça que tu vas faire comme farming and speedrun.
No way! No way! This is a rune that we needed in order to make the rarest item in this challenge. And at the end of day 1, we were halfway there. In any other challenge where we could trade, a day 1 jaw means it's already over. You can sell this immediately and muster up enough profit to buy anything you'd ever want, but that involves trading. And in this challenge, we cannot trade. You get the point. The next step was to take our budget characters and check a couple more items off the list for upgrades. The Hellfire Torch is an item you can certainly get early with the right team and some grinding.
Leroy Jenkins.
Or rejuice.
Really good, got it.
Oh, shit. The torches roll with +3 to skills to a random character class, and while it would be nice to find one for the assassin, we were mainly looking forward to the added stats and resistances. And in the next chapter of our mixed bag of luck, this was the torch we got on our very first run.
Follow my lead, guys.
Easy.
Fucking easy, bud. And what do we get? Assassin, baby! Oh, the only time I've ever wanted to see a Sin Torch.
Then, like Gino from Mario RPG, Shirley Sirius bid the team farewell, his primary mission being complete, but not before giving us some sound advice.
All you gotta do is park your shit in Europe overnight, because that's where they will spawn the D-clone. They've done it the last 3 ladders.
Really?
Or 2. And you'll wake up in the morning, you'll have Annie's, and then you'll be good to go for the rest of the ladder.
Well, shit, he was right. It's time to kick D-Clone's teeth in and grab ourselves an Annihilus charm. When your plan is to grind to 99, you're really hoping to find one of these with 10% experience gained. And first try. The pace was picking up. While I didn't quite have the unhindered ability to use the most powerful mobility skill, I did have 25 charges of it on my amulet. This is decent, but certainly never enough. However, there's another skill that the assassin has, which turns out to be a decent alternative. As long as you have a target, the skill Dragonflight teleports you to it and kicks it. D-Flight is also considered a finishing move, so it unleashes all of your charges when it connects. This is extremely efficient for navigating maps quickly and keeping your charges up, but we were already halfway to Enigma, so we wouldn't have to be doing this knockoff teleporting for long. Some otherwise good zones seemed horrible without Enigma, but it always felt like that final bear rune was just around the corner. The Durance of Hate is a dangerous terror zone, but we still chose to farm it. I wasn't expecting much from these runs. I was just hoping to find that bear rune that I needed, but I found something else.
Oh my fucking word, no way. No fucking way. Oh my god. Yep, that's an upgrade.
We found it, the legendary Griffin's Eye helm that I never thought we'd see on a semi-self-found challenge. But you learn something every day. Apparently, the odds of finding Griffin's Eye from Terrorized Mephisto on a 92 terror zone is surprisingly good. Maybe we should have planned on finding this item, certainly more than we planned on finding Enigma. Days went by. I still just couldn't accept that with such an amazing start to this ladder, our gear upgrades might be over. Maybe this was the final form after all. As pathetic as the rest of my gear was, I might never find the bear rune that I need. So, we had to improvise. Mosaic isn't the only new rune word to change the game. Hustle is an armor that gives your character a massive amount of movement speed, but I really couldn't give up the current armor I was wearing. And that's because of this one ability, that without it, your movement speed could get way worse. Then, I found this. This drop at level 95 was huge. I completely revamped my build around the Hustle rune word, with 65% faster movement on this, 20% from the Mavs belt I found, 45% from the Burst of Speed skill, and the Vigor aura from our new Harmony Merc. We were zipping, and I began to accept my enigmaless fate. There we were, the final day, climbing the summit of Mount Ariat to cap off our final piece of XP needed for 99, all while that day 1 jaw sat right there in the stash. I also found other high runes I was hoping to upgrade to bear, but they also just sat in the stash. I finished an entire ladder race with no Enigma, and looking back, that's the first time I'd ever done that. But was it enough? I left our game to check the ladder and see just how far we'd come with no trading, no Enigma, and one of the most unique ladder climbs I'd ever had.
I think there's only one thing left to do.